Welcome to Game 2 of the NPL Minors Tryout Tournament pool play against Potato Jim and the Pinecobh Ramblers. We're coming off of I'm not going to say lucky, but a hard-fought Game 1 against Aces Base in the Anaheim Altarias, where we came out victorious 2-0. Hacks came into play there, but Game 2 is a different story. When I saw I was in Potato Jim's pool, I was thrilled. I've not yet played Potato Jim, so I'm glad I got the opportunity to. And as you can see, his team here is Tyranitar, Megapincer, Jolteon, Necrozma, Excadrill, and Whimsicott. He brought the sand. His team is incredibly scary, especially the Excadrill in the sand, so my only hope for that, and for the Megapincer, is a physically defensive Skarmory, which I brought. I'm also worried about the Necrozma. If it sets up with Iron Defense and Calm Mind, that could be a problem. So that was that, along with a sub-seed Whimsicott, was a main reason I brought the Toxapex with both Toxic and Toxic Spikes. He also had a Vaporeon he didn't bring, so I felt that specifically bringing a physically defensive Skarmory and a mixed defense Toxapex was the play. Just like Game 1, I have a Life Orb Tapu Lele. I brought the Mega Manectric and a Life Orb Darmanitan, and finally I have a Choice Scarf Garchomp. This game here, I played it in my head so many times going up to the match, and every time I saw myself leading with Darmanitan. So that's what I decided to do. I went with my gut this time, unlike last game. He leads with the Jolteon. The only way he kills me if he Specs, and I don't think he would leave a Specs Jolteon in against a Darmanitan. He goes with the Volt Switch. It doesn't really tell me anything, just tells me he doesn't have a boosting item. And I decide to go for the Flare Blitz as he goes into his Tyranitar. And this Flare Blitz does 40%. That's a resisted hit. So here I go for the U-turn. A superpower could have killed him, even through a Chople, but I decided to let the Tyranitar live, so I was able to get up a Toxic Spike with my Toxapex. I have a Berry for the Excadrill / the Pinsir, but he goes for the Earthquake and pops my Shuka there, so no big deal. Here I get up my Toxic Spike as he switches in his Necrozma, and I have my Spike up, so I'm just going to go for the Toxic right here. In the event he does want to start setting up, I have Whirlwind on my Skarmory, so that's not the biggest of deals. Psychic would kill me at this point, but he goes for the Calm Mind, and if I land this Toxic, I'm in good shape. I do land the Toxic, so Necrozma just became that less scary. Here, I'm wondering if he's going to keep setting up Calm Minds. Maybe he's like a Calm Mind, Iron Defense, Rest, Stored Power set. So I go into my Darmanitan as he just straight up goes for the Stored Power, maybe thinking I would go for Haze or something. But Darmanitan did it enough to Tyranitar where I could justify sacking it right there. So here I decide to go into my Skarmory. He switches out. I'm not especially defensive, but I resist Stored Power. No big deal. And I go for my Stealth Rack. He brings in his Excadrill, which, I was afraid of like a Smackdown set, but then I found out Excadrill doesn't get Smackdown. He goes for Rapid Spin, and because of my Rocky Helmet, loses 25% of his health along with his Life Orb. Here I expect the Jolteon to come in, so I just decide to go for more chip damage and fire off a Whirlwind, forcing him out probably into the best thing that could have happened, which is his Mega Pincer. Now here I decide to throw off my Stealth Racks for the Whirlwind coming back out to continue to injure the Pinsir. Here he goes for the Swords Dance, which is scary. The close combat does not kill me, which also probably means he doesn't have Earthquake for my Toxapex, which means an uninvested return won't be doing too much. I roll him out into his Tyranitar, and Tyranitar dies to the hazards, which means no more sand, which means at this point I'm just going to need a little bit more chip damage on the Necrozma, and actually Mega Manectric can win. Here I was expecting a Thunderbolt, not really expecting to overpredict, as he goes for the hidden power, and that hurt, but I know I can live another one, and 2 flamethrowers will be able to knock him out. But he reveals here that he has actually choice scarf into hidden power ice. So after flamethrower, like I said, Manectric can do a lot to his team. It can still live a +1 quick attack from the Mega Pinsir. So I decided to switch out into my Tapu Lele because it didn't really give him enough momentum like a Toxapex would. So I go for the Psychic and I take out the Jolteon. Just like I said before, late game 1, I am Life Orb. His team's not too fast. He goes out into his Excadrill here, and I decide, if anything, he'll go for the Rapid Spin, so I should go for a Psychic, and sure enough, I get the roll. I'm fairly sure that was a roll, and I take him out. Now here, I know Necrozma is set up, or he could have like Thunder Wave or something, so I go for the Taunt, as he does decide to go for the Moonlight, and unfortunately, because of the Toxic, because he can no longer Moonlight, he is severely crippled, and I go for Moonblast, and I take out the Necrozma. So right here, I felt good. Once the Tyranitar went down, I felt like, I had the game pretty much wrapped up. Whimsicott is, like I said, a threat with the Subseed, so I'm not going to let him sub up. I would rather, kill myself with Life Orb Recoil than let him set up, but he goes for the Leech Seed. I always had the Manectric in the back and the Garchomp in the back, but at this point, it's pretty much just ball game. I couldn't find a way to keep it a 5-0 safely. If he would have Swords Dance there, he could have double Swords Dance because my Skarmory couldn't have touched him. It had no attacking moves. But he just killed my Tapu Lele, and I go into my Choice Scarf Garchomp and take him out. I was worried of, like a crit, a quick attack, killing my Manectric, or like he actually did have Earthquake and crit Earthquaked my Toxapex, but in the end, I won 4-0, and we will be advancing to the knockout round because unfortunately, Troy Gaming dropped out of the tournament and forfeits the round, so I will be advancing with 3 wins and a +9 differential due to the forfeit, and I'm excited for the knockout round. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the knockout round of the NPL Minors Tryout Tournament.